I made her when I showed off my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my 50. Act slick, then hit with the back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back, then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things, pull out the VIP. Suck, turn up, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a give coming right is Breida, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Now it's Jackson. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 for the Niners there and a 1st down. On 1st down, here's Breida. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 44, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Jackson on 3rd and long. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by David Long. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Remember, of course, he threw 5 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive, same result here.
But it's hard to believe that you can throw 5 in the previous week and start out your very next game the exact same way. He's going to need a lot of support on his own sideline. Make sure he gets really fully, mentally into this one.
After the interception, here's Goff. Open man is Quinn. He completes it. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Nick Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. At the 17-yard line. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A second down play. Results in a loss of 2 yards.
It's 3rd down and goal to go.
Now that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. How crucial will those 5 yards be? We'll see as they come up again here, 3rd and goal. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. And that is incomplete.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
Carlson able to put this one through. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing is Jackson. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Jackson now. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 35.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now it's Breida. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the Rams' 37-yard line.
Here we go.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this one is right down the middle. And that will tie us at 3-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
They'll be going for 6. These two teams all tied after 1.
Everyone come forward. 20. 54. Hey, watch the slant.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Goff. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. Nifty move. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's a 1st down throw that's complete, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down, L.A.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now on 2nd and 13, Goff. And that's complete to Cooks. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son.
A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So on fourth down, here's Johnny Hekker to punt it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Jackson. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Jackson. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Here's Jackson to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
24 is the mark. I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you. Check. Put it to check. Over. Put it to check.
Here's Breida. He will push his way down to about the 14. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch time, watch time. Tight end right, tight end right. Hustle. 24's the mic. Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. 24's the mic.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. This is caught. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. George Kittle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Goff. Got a man, that's Quinn. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Goff now looking to throw. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
At the 49ers' 45-yard line.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On the toss, it's Gurley. Shedding through the defense. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
He's forced out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down.
I got you, son. I got you, son.
The final shot before break here. Goff under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
The throw over the middle taken in. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A run with Gurley there on first down. Going to get about 4 yards. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Out of the gun. Gone. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's first and 10. Jackson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism, because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick six. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Yeah, they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now it's Jackson. They'll get this into the hands of Breida. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it's going to be third down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Hey, we got 4 24's the mic. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo!
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
35 yards that time on the punt. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over.
120. 54. It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our field.
Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
Unfortunately for you, you've been around me for a little while now, so you know me as well as anyone and how I look at a game. I don't ever advocate abandoning anything. But in this case, I'm going against my own thought process. You got to change it up. You got to start throwing it around a little bit, finding ways to try and move the ball because keeping on the ground just isn't working for them.
Yeah, maybe get him the ball out of the passing game, a swing pass outside or something, just something to vary it up. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This from 54 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Yeah, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
They'll throw on 1st down to Jackson, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
24's the mic. Here we go. 24's the mic. You can't block me. You can't block me.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. It's complete to Grant. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Back now in Los Angeles. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They go counter with Breida. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. This is Breida. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to have a 3rd down. He's going to go for it all. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Nick Bosa make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Rams going for it on 4th. Gone. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Here's Goff. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
He's letting it fly for Cooks. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. Here we go on fourth. Gone. And this is going to be incomplete. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on fourth down. And now the football is going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the shotgun, Breida. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
San Francisco.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They run again with Breida, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Matt Breida. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now this one complete on the slant route. That's a gain of 13, 1st down Rams. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And to the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
This will be taken very short. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Here we go. Their own 29-yard line.
The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
He gets it to Cooks. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. Now a play fake here on first down. And that's complete to Cooks. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. First down Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself. But you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
That'll